Vechain has been making some headlines, when it comes to partnerships, but yet you're still seeing the price of Vechain still, stagnant. We still haven't seen key levels breaking out. But you guys know I have a huge following on my channel from the Vechain community. I purposely am not, giving you guys updates on Vechain till we cross a specific level. But today I really wanted to kind of sit together and give you guys an update, so everyone is aware of what specific target I'm really talking about, because I think that's where technical analysis really makes sense, because right now we're kind of stagnant in terms of the price itself. But again, if the VeChain family wants to see updates no matter what every single day, even if it's like a quite short concise update, let me know in the comments, and of course hit that red subscribe button and the like button to show me that you guys are interested in these updates. But we're going to start off with this here. VeChain has officially became a client of Franklin Templeton, which of course we know is one of the biggest asset managers, about 1.7 trillion dollars in asset under management. But Franklin Templeton is among the top 10 RWA issuers globally, with 800 plus million tokenized assets across multiple blockchains, alongside BlackRock, WisdomTree, and VanEck. This partnership brings together VeChain's enterprise-grade blockchain and sustainability solution, Franklin Templeton's Benji platform for regulated tokenized finance. The result, a 24/7 financial network with instant liquidity, intraday, yield, low cost settlement, and institutional grade trust. And of course, this is where VeChain is really out here trying to compete with some of its competitors. And we know, obviously, I've shared on my channel quite some time, VeChain is one of the blockchains that gets overlooked, but it has a lot going on for itself, and big key players around the globe that are actually using the VeChain Thor blockchain. But looking across the board today, as far as the broader market is concerned, going into Sunday morning, we're starting to see the market picking up, which is always nice to see. As far as VeChain is concerned, we're looking at an increase about 1.7% in USD and about 1.2% in Bitcoin comparative. Price at 2.5 cents, valuation 2.15 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $29 million. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So you guys know it's not a Crypto ZX update unless we don't talk about the dominance, and the dominance has been pulling down since August 15th, which is amazing to see. You want to see the dominance doing what it's doing right now, and obviously we're still in a weekend, but with the way things are going right now, I think as we start off the new week, we could potentially even drop below our monthly low, which is around 59.12%, which sets altcoins up for a great week ahead of us. If you're looking at BTC right now, let's give it a refresh live. Bitcoin has been able to reclaim back above $118,000 right now, which is amazing to see. Bitcoin is picking up, but of course, we're still in a weekend, but nice price movements as far as BTC is concerned. And if we're able to clear this key resistance, I am projecting 120K to be, reclaimed once again. So could we potentially start making our way back up to the all-time high? The chances are definitely there, but we need to keep those factors in mind. But so far, so good. Let's talk about VeChain. So when you take a look at VeChain, when I show you guys the daily time frame zoomed out, it seems like the price hasn't done anything, and that's quite true. And the price is still in the bear market zone, which a lot of people don't like seeing, but it's a reality. But what I was talking about is this right here. We're still in this accumulation zone, and as you guys know, I call this the bear market zone. Simple as that. And believe it or not, the bear market zone doesn't end until we get into the 61.8. Again, everyone has their own ways of looking at the charts. You might think I'm quite harsh when it comes to technical analysis, but I believe it's quite a fair price to be at to be out of the bear market zone. And right now we're pretty much ranging around this level, but it pretty much comes down to a lot of solid projects are being overlooked right now. And this is a very similar pattern with a lot of coins across the board. It's not just VeChain. There's a lot of other coins that are being overlooked. But look what happened last time around too. We saw VeChain reacting with the broader market. So anyone that's going to come out and say VeChain doesn't react with the broader market, I can say look at this, what happened last time back in November, when we did see the entire altcoin market just go crazy. From November, we saw an increase of about 324% for VeChain in a short span of time into the 61.8, and as of now we're pretty much consolidating back to where we were prior to this major move. So We did end up seeing that move though, but it was short lived. So, right now a lot of other projects are being overlooked. Vechain is one of them, but pretty much what I'm saying is, reason why I'm not making updates is because the price is still below the 3.4 cents range. It's a very, very key range. Until then, it's pretty much an accumulation pattern. So, we want to see the price of VeChain breaking above that 3.4 cents mark, which itself is still quite a sharp move, about 40% from where we currently are. And last time we were above that key range was back in February. So it is quite something. We came very close to it back in May, but of course, got rejected at that range. You want to see the price pushing back up to that level. Once you break out of here, this is where, a lot of money that might be sidelined, or, that haven't really looked into VeChain, or maybe that's the confirmation, you could really see that becoming, more of an eye grabber. So that's what I want you guys to keep in mind right here. A very key range, of course, until that accumulation. Obviously, we do have some resistance, we can kind of eye out. Like there's some resistance that we're literally facing right now. But primarily, the main target is around this 3.4 cents mark. Breaking out of here would mean a big confirmation for us. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. If you want to see more of these updates, in-depth updates on VeChain, let me know in the comments. We'll bring you guys that. We'll see you later from Crypto ZX, and peace out.